Today's video is presented by Manscaped. You can get 20% off and get free shipping when you head to manscaped.com/chat. That is manscaped.com/chat. Check the comments and the description. Put that link in there so that you can save 20% and free shipping on all of their fantastic men's grooming products. Today's video is a 7-round Dallas Cowboys mock draft with one particular twist in mind. So many of you are like, what about drafting Kyle Pitts? So I figured let's do this. Let's run a simulation in which Kyle Pitts is on the board, and if that's the case, how does that impact the rest of the Cowboys draft? Are you able to find a way to still build your defense? Now, in general, I want to make a note here. I don't think Kyle Pitts is going to be there. I think it is less likely, of course, with the benefit of hindsight, that Pitts is there than if CeeDee Lamb were there last year. So I want to explore the scenario. And that's what mock drafts are for, right? Looking at different outcomes in which, hey, could this player be on the board? If so, how does that impact the rest of the draft? So for starters here, I do want to make an important general note. Tight end is not a significant need for this team. It's literally your entire defense. That is where you want to focus in terms of need. But if Kyle Pitts is on the board, agnostic of actual draft needs, Kyle Pitts would be the best player, unless Penei Sewell's there, at least for me, which I doubt. I doubt both guys are there. Kyle Pitts would be the best player in this year's draft class for the Cowboys if by some unlikely outcome he were on the board at number 10. So just keep that in mind here as we kick things off by first going through the picks. First 9 picks from the sim. Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, Penei Sewell, Jamar Chase. They go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in that order. Then a run on receivers here. Jalen Waddle, Devonta Smith, Trey Lance, Justin Fields. So in the event that Pitts is there, you know what? It's quarterback heavy. It's actually not that outlandish of a scenario. So in this case, the Cowboys take Kyle Pitts at number 10 overall. And I love the player. My comments on Pitts in the past have never been about, oh, he's not good or anything. It's that I love him, but I got needs to fill and not make my defense terrible again. In terms of player value, he would be the best player on the board if he happened to fall. Now, the reason why I'm a little bit more open to going with Kyle Pitts is that you can't take Caleb Farley number 10. So with Farley off the board, who I desperately wanted, looking at Kyle Pitts or some of these guys. Rashawn Slater, Patrick Surtain, Micah Parsons, J.C. Horn, Kwity Paye. Pitts is better than those guys. I think I would rather go with Patrick Surtain. But if he's gone somehow, Pitts is the best player on the board. And from a pure best player available, take that guy, it would be Kyle Pitts. Now, we're not going to have the in-depth discussion per se of, well, is that the best use of your draft capital because you haven't spent much in terms of the defensive side of the ball, which is fair and accurate. So if in the event Pitts was there in round 1 and the Cowboys took him, what would be your one-word reaction? Let me know in the comments section. Pitts is the pick at number 10, and the Cowboys got to figure out defense with the rest of their selections. What is your one-word reaction? Let me know what you guys think. All right, round 2 then. I want to make note of some players off the board. Alex Leatherwood, Jalen Phillips, who I would have loved to have gotten at number 44. Some surprise picks here. Baron Browning goes pretty early in this Pro Football Network sim. Ifeatu Melifonwu would be a strong contender at number 44, but he's gone early. Also, Richie Grant off the board. So some notable players here. Aleem McNeil, who I like a lot as a one technique. Carlos Boogie Basham, the edge rusher. Jamin Davis, he might be gone before that, but the Sims are always a bit behind, right? I would love to go with Asante Samuel. I would absolutely love it. He's my highest rated guy, but I don't think the Cowboys would. Instead, Eric Stokes is my pick here at number 44 overall. Now, I think it's a bit more likely, but not impossible, that Stokes is gone and Melifonwu ends up being the pick instead. But if Stokes is there at 44 with a round 2 grade from me, I'm in. He fits what the Cowboys historically, and I think especially under Dan Quinn, like in a cornerback. If you want some pure speed, opposite Trevon Diggs, folks, Eric Stokes is your guy because he can absolutely fly. And it's not the same as getting Patrick Surtain. It would not be as good, but I feel better about the cornerback spot if it's Diggs at CB1, Stokes at CB2, and then rotating between Anthony Brown and Jordan Lewis as well. Stokes checked in at his pro day, just under 6'1", 32, almost 33-inch arms. All of those things are important. Now, his 4.31 40-yard dash was probably a little bit juiced, as all pro days were, but he is definitely fast. He's a bit handsy for me. Doesn't have the greatest ball skills. The 4 interceptions, a bit of a deceptive stat line right there. But in terms of the fallback round 2 corner options, Eric Stokes is one of the better ones available. So I like that one quite a bit for the Dallas Cowboys. Today's show is made possible by Manscaped. Get yourself the Lawnmower 3.0, the #1 men's grooming tool out there. Will not cut you or anything along those lines, and then help you out later on. Manscaped.com/chat. Get the Lawnmower 3.0, 20% off and free shipping when you use that URL. And that's not just the Lawnmower 3.0, folks. You've also got the Perfect Package. Comes with the boxers and everything else there. It is the best men's grooming products out there. Manscaped.com/chat. There was also a super chat that came in from Brandon Brown. Will Manscaped ship to Germany for service members? Yes, they will, Brandon. They will take care of you, so go check them out today. Manscaped.com/chat. You know, baseball is back. I'm being told, and I know this, producer Brett used to have a lot of home runs in his college days playing baseball. He was bad, not really. Chicks dig the long ball, but not long ball hair. So get rid of that today. Use the Lawnmower 3.0, 20% off and free shipping. All right, round 3 now for the Cowboys, picking 75. Little run on linebackers here. Cam McGrone, he's off the board. Liam Eichenberg, I would have loved that pick. He's gone there. I like Tommy Togiai, but he was also taken. So some top players left then. Marlon, I think I'm going to get this right, but probably wrong. Who knows? Marlon Tuipulotu, the defensive lineman from USC, better than J. Tufele. Peyton Turner. I really thought about Peyton Turner. I'm also looking safety here, but I think one of Holland or Ardarius Washington would be there for me with my comp pick. So I thought a lot about going after Peyton Turner. I don't want to go Dylan Moses. And I was very surprised that Nick Bolton was on the board for me in round 3, and that was my pick. Now, he did not test that well at his pro day, which is concerning because all the pro days were juiced this year. But as a pure Mike, a middle linebacker, I love Bolton. I think he's super intelligent. He reads and reacts very well. Doesn't miss that many tackles. There's the goal line stand by Missouri against LSU, where Bolton was lined up as almost an edge rusher because, goal line stand there. Involved in the first 2 tackles and broke up a surefire touchdown because he read the plays to perfection. I like that from my linebacker. I got a round 2 grade on him. If I can get him in round 3, heck yeah. And in year 1, he's probably a rotation piece. In year 2, I think I've got my future middle linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys. So I absolutely loved the value, and it might be a bit unlikely, but I loved the value there for the Cowboys to get Nick Bolton. Now, if you guys want the next mock draft to have trades, which we can do, I need you guys to type me in the comment section. Spam that for me, and if we get enough me's, as convoluted as it can be, we'll do a mock draft with trades for you guys. All right, the picks before the comp pick number 99. Oh, the run on edges hurt me there. Peyton Turner's gone, Joe Tryon's gone, Rashad Weaver's gone, Javon Holland is gone as well, so those ones hurt me. I wanted Turner so bad, but that was always a bit unlikely anyway. So now the guys who's left here. I'm getting concerned overall in terms of some of the options left. Bobby Brown, a good run stopper. Deo Odenigbo is an edge. He's there, but it's a bit of a reach, and he's coming off the injury. Andre Cisco is there at safety, and I worry about getting a safety because I want one, a free safety. I don't know if he's going to fall to round 4. But you know who is there for me in round 3? Darius Washington. So I will pass on the defensive lineman for now. I will take the safety. Now, Washington is not going to be for everybody. If you don't mind your guys being undersized, then Darius is 5'8", 176. He's undersized, but he's a good football player. I know that this does not fit the traits and production, at least this past year, that teams want. 5 interceptions, though, in 2019, so don't freak out there. Some might view him as a nickel corner. I think he can play free safety just like DeMonte Casey can. If you just want a good football player, ignore the testing, ignore the size, ignore the traitsy stuff, that is what Washington is. He can play free safety. He's going to be in the right position. His instincts are fantastic. I think he's quick enough as well. He plays faster than what he tested because of his instincts. So in round 4, or almost round 4, the end of round 3, I got myself a potential future free safety. All right, round 4 now, day 3. Some guys off the board. There goes Cisco. There goes Deontay Brown, the defensive lineman as well. But there are some interesting players. Chaz Surratt, the linebacker, I am surprised he's there. Shaun Wade is not good. Paulson Adebo is, though. I don't think Brady Christensen will be there either, but I strongly thought about him at 115. But the nose guard group is getting thin. So let me gamble on one of the youngest players with fantastic upside in this year's class, Bobby Brown out of Texas A&M. Highly touted recruit, coming off his best year ever. Folks, he's not even going to be 21 when the NFL draft gets underway. He didn't turn 21 for a few weeks afterwards. His best year ever, 7.5 tackles for loss, 5.5 sacks. He does not know what he's doing yet. He's 20 years old, right? Maybe that shouldn't be the biggest surprise ever. But at 6'4", 321, he is a freaky athlete. And that matters for a team that needs one of those guys on the defensive line. A one-tech who can play all 3 downs typically isn't on the board in round 4. So I like that early day 3 value for the Cowboys to snag him out of A&M. So who is your favorite day 3 target overall? Get your votes in for me in the comments section. Which player would you love the Cowboys to snag after the first 2 days of the NFL draft? All right, now before pick number 138. There goes Shaun Wade. Osa Odigizua gone as well. Brady Christensen too. I like Tyree Gillespie, but I took care of my safety needs, so that's not a big deal. Anyway, so on the board then, you got Marvin Wilson. I kind of think Brown's better because Wilson was just not good this year, plus the knee's a major issue for me. I like the best name in this year's draft class, Divine Diablo, the strong safety. Benjamin St. Juste fits the Cowboys mold, but I spent my second round on a corner, so I don't need that necessarily at this point. So instead, at pick 130, I want a name that some of you have mentioned before in the comments. Charles Snowden, who is a bit of a tweener, but I do want someone who can play what I'm going to call that Sam strong side linebacker mold. Massive length and size, mind you, and he can rush the passer at least a little bit. Now, I don't know what his exact role is in the NFL. Is he a pass rusher? Is he an off-ball linebacker? Is he a tweener? The answer is yes, he is a tweener. But as someone who can play that setting linebacker edge type of hybrid role, which Dan Quinn has used before, I think makes sense. So a bit of an under-the-radar name, bit of a tweener, but I like the length and ability that he brings at the linebacker spot. All right, to 179 now. Wilson's gone. Divine Diablo is gone. I like some of those receivers, Josh Palmer, Shi Smith. Also on the board here still, St. Juste is still there. I thought about him again. JANARIUS Robinson, I like him. Frank Darby, the receiver. You know what I'd like to do? I'd like to find a potential Michael Gallup replacement if I need one. I think I found one here in DAZZ NEWSOME out of North Carolina. Now, he's a slot receiver. His athletic ability is not elite by any means, but He can be my slot receiver next year and offers punt return ability, so I don't have to put Lamb back there on punt returns. Not the greatest year from DAZZ NEWSOME, but folks, I'm in round 5. I got 10 draft picks this year. It is okay to spend 2 of them on the offense, and especially looking ahead to future needs where receiver is going to be one. So how many draft trades do you think the Dallas Cowboys will pull off? Get your votes in for me in the comments. Is it going to be 1, 2, 0, or maybe they get wild and do like 5 or 6? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. How many draft trades for the Cowboys this year? All right, jump down to number 192. There goes St. Juice, then Kerry Vincent. Those guys are off the board. I'm in round 6 now. We're taking gambles, and that's what Janarius Robinson is. This is a pure project, pure upside pick. He's long, and he is athletic, though. Now, his production is not great. He's never really put it together remotely for Florida State. But at almost 6'5", with 35-inch arms, that length is super interesting to me. So, might be a practice squad guy, but round 6, that's the athletic traits and upside you gamble on. All right, to pick number 226 we go now here. Some of the players that were gone: Justin Hillard, Landon Young, Israel Mukwamu, Chris Rump, all going in a row. So instead, actually 220, I was off by 1 pick for those, my bad. Anyway, Jonathan Cooper is the pick here for the Dallas Cowboys. There's depth on the edge rusher spot, which I want. Because I want to get rid of Dorrance Armstrong. And I think Jonathan Cooper can help me do that. I can stash Robinson for a year, roll with Cooper and Anai, who aren't like the most high upside edges, but they do have fairly high floors. Production's not great. The pressures were, though, for Cooper. I like him as a potential day 3 sleeper for the Cowboys. So I went back-to-back edges there because I didn't like any of the tackles or interior linemen left, so I avoided offensive line altogether. Unfortunately, that's what happens when you take a tight end at number 10. Now, round 7 to kind of wrap things up here. Let's go for a backup quarterback. It's Ian Book out of Notre Dame. I don't ever really want him starting, but Book is what Shea Patterson was supposed to be last year in the NFL draft. He's not going to put up a bunch of big-time stats. His touchdowns actually dipped this past year, but he was a smarter distributor of the ball, and he's a great athlete too. And in today's NFL, I want my backup quarterback in most cases to be a very good athlete. So grade my mock draft here. A, B, C, D, or F. Get your votes in right now. How do you think I did? And if you forgot, by the way, let's recap here. This is the Kyle Pitts draft. In the event they go Pitts, that was the whole purpose of the mock draft here. Pitts in round 1. I got Eric Stokes in round 2. Nick Bolton in round 3. Adarius Washington in round 3 as well with that comp pick there. Bobby Brown from A&M. Charles Snowden out of Virginia. DAZZ NEWSOME, the receiver from North Carolina. JANARIUS Robinson from Florida State. Jonathan Cooper, Ohio State, so back-to-back edge flyer guys there. And then Ian Book to compete with Garrett Gilbert and probably replace Ben DiNucci as the 3rd-string quarterback. So get those votes in. Grade it for me, A, B, C, D, or F.